How are we going, folks? Hope you're having a great morning so far if you're watching it as we've just uploaded it. I'm sitting here in my veggie garden dressed like I'm in bloody winter because it's cold, but we shouldn't complain about it too much because that's all we seem to do down here in Victoria. Well, that's me, that is. I don't know about you guys. My microclimate here doesn't exist. It's actually just cold as the weather changes. But in saying that, it is still springtime and we've still got evidence here to prove to you that it's springtime because our little volunteers have popped up. Have a look here. We've got tomatoes in this bed here that I planted last year, and obviously a few of those seeds or tomato fruit itself fell to the ground, rotted away, and now the seeds are germinating everywhere. And it's not just one plant. Literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm not going to count them all, there's at least 2 dozen or 3 dozen, 30 or 40 plants. Now, if I remember correctly, they were beefsteak, Rouge de Marmande here, and our little Malaccas. I'm not going to know which ones they are, so what I've got to do here is take them out, and that's what you should do in your garden if they're germinating on their own. Dig them out of the ground, carefully, soil and all if you can. It's going to collapse a little bit, but that's okay because we're going to transplant them into their own little punnets so they can grow on. Look at all this. If I was to leave all these here, look, we even got celery and parsley growing here. This is parsley actually, because all the parsley are here. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can't keep up with me. Down here, 11, 12, 13. Even down there right on the edge of the garden bed, there's at least 20 plants in this section here of tomatoes. Surely we're not going to need that many, but if we do leave them in there, they're going to kill each other. They're going to have a fight, and the fight's going to be with the pest and the diseases and which plant's the strongest to survive out of the lot. Let's not go there, so let's dig them out while they're young like this. And folks, it is cold. Yep. Well, in Victoria it is. It's crazy weather. We've got the horse races coming up, and this is a planting week. So for everybody's been waiting for this week to plant. It's every year the same thing almost, that it rains on horse day or cup day, if you want to call that. But we don't wait. We don't wait any longer. We've got to get them in the ground. And remember, you don't have to plant them all at once. You can plant a few today, tomorrow, and the next day, and the week after that, and you'll probably have, because the season is late, tomatoes all the way through till March, if not April as well. And I've done that in the past because our weather, look at it, look at me, it's about 10 degrees out here, but the soil's warm, so we get a bit of heat in here. There's a nice one here, pop it out like that, beautiful. Now these are all going to be mixed varieties, folks, so we make sure you label them like that, or plant them somewhere where they're not going to get interrupted. Look at, which one do I take out first? This one here. And this is in our planting mix. I prepared this bed, I don't know, a few weeks ago. I put cocoa pith, our compost, our planting mix on top, and it's got an extra bit of superfood and black grit as well added to it. And it's a literally plant and forget environment here. So what's that? We've got a bit of curl going on this one. Let's take all these ones out together. Now, keep in mind, when these, well, actually no, I didn't turn the soil over, I left it as it was, and then I just added another 3 or 4 inches on top. So these seeds were basically this far below the top of the surface. And yet they were still able to germinate through. So there you go. So these are little tough critters. That's a big tough one. Have a look at her, hey? What a girl she is. And here he comes, here he comes, here he comes, the troublemaker. It's his birthday today, by the way, folks. He's 2 years old. Hey, Vader, happy birthday, mate. What would you like? Oh, that's a lick there, because he wants some birthday cake. And that's mince, sausages, peanut butter. What else do we put in there? Carrots? We put a bit of carrots in it, peas, a couple of rabbits. We're going to pot them up in little punnets. And obviously from the punnets we've taken out the other seedlings from. A collection of little pots like this, folks, nothing bigger than 4 inch is all you need. Don't plant them in a tray, only because you want to be able to separate them later on again, and you don't want the roots to get tangled up. So what we do is just put a little bit of soil. I know many of you have done this. Actually, what I'm using this time is just straight out cocoa pith. I'm finding it a lot better for the seedlings. Sure, you can buy your seedlings, and you'll see our ones as well, in a mixture of a planting mix, but we add a lot more cocoa pith to it. But for you guys at home, if you're transplanting anything, I honestly, from my trials, look at this. Clean roots, fallen straight away off there. From my trials of transplanting, cocoa pith is the safest way to do it. because there's no nutrients at all in it, and all you need to do is liquid feed it with our liquid golden Eco Butch once or twice. And you can sprinkle a little bit of superfood on top if you like, and black grit, but it's still too early for all that sort of stuff. That's all it needs, and that way it's actually got a better chance of taking off and avoiding root burn. So you don't want to burn the roots. And it's not because the planting mix or the potting mix that you use is too rich, it's just they're very delicate and they've gone from one space to another, and they need that little bit of extra protection. And I find the cocoa pith on its own is the best way to do it. And we're going to have a lot of tomatoes this year. Even though it's cold, folks, it's still springtime, and we're really into the last month by the calendar, or the second month by the old scale of spring. So it is time to get out there and start planting. Stagnate your planting if you need to, like I have. I'm not planting everything at once, so you don't have to harvest everything at once. And remember, if you need anything, go to our website, vasilisgarden.com. We're running up to 70% off a huge range of gardening products and seeds as well. And it is weekend gardening on 3AW. So if you're watching us as we've just uploaded this little segment, switch over to 693 AM dial. That's 3AW Radio, gardening with Darren James and myself. Give us a call, ring in, share us your great ideas and tips, or ask us a problem if you've got, or share the problem you have, and we'll try to be there to solve it for you. I'll also be at the Garden Centre in Coburg after the radio, folks, so pop down if you're in Victoria or visiting. Come and say hello, because all the seedlings are discounted as well, folks. Everything you need at vasilisgarden.com. From me, Vasili, Maresi.